Yo, what's going on YouTube? It's your boy Jan Moses, here to share with you all my strategy for tackling Breakout here in Season 1 of NBA 2K26 MyTeam as a part of our Breakout 101 Classroom series. Now, this is only the second installment of Breakout 101, and we're already going to be talking about strategy because while on the one hand, I wanted to wait to have a larger sample size of information to base my strategy off of, I think we have enough of a sample size for me to feel confident in telling you guys what I think is going to be the best way to go about tackling Breakout. Now, I want to just say right off the top, shout out to Most Ballin. He did the same thing last year. He's doing it again this year. He's giving out a lot of great information, not just from his own findings, but from his massive community's findings when it comes to all things Breakout related. And he even made a Twitter community strictly for Breakout, which is awesome. I've yet to check it out, but Mo seems like a really nice guy, and I feel like that community is going to only be a productive experience for you if you're trying to maximize your understanding of Breakout and how to play this game efficiently. And I think that's really what my goal is with the Breakout 101 series, and just in general with every bit of content I put out here on this channel, whether it's Breakout 101, the salary cap report, or just in general videos that I upload that aren't in those two categories. I'm trying to teach you guys or give you guys the strategies that I'm implementing when I play this game, because I'm someone who doesn't have all day to play this game, which, you know, is kind of good and bad. It's good because I feel like if I played this game a lot, I'd get burnt out and I would be exhausted. And I mean, just like a lot of you guys, I have other things I need to do. Like, I'm only level 8, which is honestly like a few levels higher than I thought I would be at this point in the weekend. But also, I know a lot of you guys are in a similar boat. And so if you're in the same boat or a similar boat to me where you don't have all the time in the world to play this game, wouldn't you want to play a game mode like Breakout, which is so much more exciting than it was last year, in a way that's both efficient time-wise, because I know a lot of you guys are grinding out this agenda set this agenda set right here, where you need to get 250 clutch time and triple threat wins in order to get this season 1 mode completion token for any of those 3 pink diamonds that you guys know of already: Jack Sigma, Glenn Rice, Jason Kidd. But you also want to make MT along the way, right? Or collect unauctionable cards that may be helpful on your team if you're someone who, like me, isn't spending money or VC on packs right now. Like, I have 150,000 VC from the pre-order and from the Pro Pass, and I'm planning on saving it, at least as of right now, until the first event, maybe. Whenever I see something that I think is good value, packs right now to me just don't seem like great value, which, you know, it is what it is. But anyways, moving on to my strategy. I have now played through 2 complete Breakout runs. The first one on Saturday, I went through a basic Breakout board, and then I went through a triple threat portal, where the rewards at the end of it look to be the exact same, if not maybe a little bit worse than the rewards were on that Breakout board that I played before that triple threat board. So in the same run, the first Breakout board that I played on had similar, if not better, rewards than the rewards I saw in the triple threat warped board corners, which is kind of frustrating because that's the exact issue we had last year, at least in my limited experience of playing Breakout in 2K25 MyTeam and going through the triple threat and clutch time warps. I noticed that the rewards were really not much better, if they were better at all, than the rewards I saw on my initial level 1 Breakout board. Where the rewards do seem to be better are in the Breakout boards that you get from going through the special warp, which, if you guys were with me on stream yesterday, first of all, shout out to you. But second of all, if you guys were with me, then you guys would have seen that we had really nice rewards on that special warped Breakout boards corners. We had 10,000 MT in one corner, we had 5,000 MT in another corner, and then we got that Breakout exchange collectible, which was really nice. I didn't even cover the Breakout portion of the exchange in my first Breakout 101 episode earlier this weekend, because I just didn't know that this existed. I had no idea. And you can see here, I've already unlocked one of the exchanges. It's a very interesting section of the exchange because not everything is available to you right now. You'll notice that these 4 rewards right here have a little like clock logo on them, and that's because I haven't unlocked them yet. And if you haven't unlocked any of these, if you haven't gotten a Breakout Exchange collectible and have used it yet, then you'll see this Hall of Fame badge pack is going to also be locked for you. And if you look at the names for these rewards, the first one says 92 plus free agent pack step 1. This one says Hall of Fame badge step 2, which if you guys were to look at the rest of this, context clues will tell you until you unlock this free agent 92 plus overall pack, the Hall of Fame badge is going to be locked because this is step 2 and you need to complete step 1 to have access to step 2. Same thing for going from step 2 to step 3. I need to use 2 season 1 breakout event cards, which I currently have none of, in order to get access to these rewards right here, including the season 1 completion event card. Now, I don't know if this is going to be the card that you can use to get a pink diamond. It would be nice, and I'm assuming that that is the case because you need 10 of these in order to get this, 10 of the season 1 breakout event cards in order to get this season 1 completion event card. So it could be nice theoretically if you're grinding out breakout to get these season 1 breakout event cards. It would be nice if you can get enough of those breakout event cards to get this card right here, to get a pink diamond that way. And then while you're grinding your way to getting those 10 season 1 breakout event cards, you're completing this grind right here with all these triple threat and clutch time games that you have to play, 500 in total, 250 for each mode, in order to get this season 1 mode completion card. So you could theoretically, if you play your cards right, at the end of your breakout run for the season, walk away with 2 of Jack Sigma, Jason Kidd, and Glenn Rice as pink diamonds. That's pretty damn good to me, and honestly, that makes Breakout seem like the most worth it mode if you know what you're doing. And that's why, bringing it back to the beginning of this video, I want to share what my strategy is with you guys. Because like I said, I think these clutch time and triple threat warps are just like last year, which means they're useless. Now, from a time perspective, you could argue that it's more efficient to play these boards with the clutch time and triple threat only boards, because we don't need full game lineups in order to make progress towards the 500 games played for that season 1 mode completion exchange card. So if you're playing on a basic breakout board and you see all of a sudden, like, you're working your way around and you see, oh damn, I have to play this full game lineup, it sucks because that's going to take away 4 to 5 minutes of you playing a game that's not going to reward you towards that 500 win ladder for the pink diamond that you're probably grinding for. However, the rewards are always going to be better on these breakout boards where you have access to all game modes. If you start a brand new breakout board, take a moment and just read through what 2K tells you about each breakout board option between all game modes, triple threat only, and clutch time only. In the all-time game modes, they flat out say either the best rewards or the better rewards are available when you play all game modes. So they're not trying to hide anything when they say that. What's tricky is that also applies for warps. So clutch time warps, because it's not all game modes, you're not going to have access to the better rewards. Same thing for triple threat, which leaves you with special warps and the current era warps. And I say current era warps because right now we don't have any other eras. We don't have the 90s, the 80s, the 70s, the 2010s, the 2000s, so on and so forth. We only have, on a basic breakout board, 2 kinds of opponents. We have current era opponents and then random easy lineups. That's all you're going to see on these breakout boards, outside of when you go to the edges where it becomes random medium lineups. So on this board, I tried to find 3 current era teams to play against in order to force myself to have a current era warp. I was not lucky. We have 20 games on this board. We're going to get to that in 1 second. And of those 20 games, 2 of them were against current era opponents. 18 of them were against random easy lineups, which sucks because I don't have a 3rd current era opponent, which means I'm not going to be able to have access to a current warp on this board no matter what I do. Even if one of these games was against the 2026 New York Liberty, for example, a WNBA team, because the era of that team is current, I could have played against the Liberty and then played against the Miami Heat from the 2026 season, and then the current era 2026 Denver Nuggets, because all 3 of those teams are classified as current teams. That would have forced a current warp. And so on future breakout runs, I'm going to try to reset my board until I see 3 current era teams. Now, why am I doing that? Well, because current era boards and special warps are going to lead to you having breakout boards that have all games, which will give you better rewards. One of my buddies has played through roughly 10 breakout boards. About like 6 or 7 of them he's gone through warps for clutch time or triple threat, and he has not seen one of those breakout exchange collectibles that I've already seen through just going through the special warp once. And if you look at Twitter and if you look on YouTube, I'm sure you're going to see multiple other examples of people playing on the current board and seeing that same breakout exchange piece. Now, why am I going to max up, or why am I going to select the current board over the special warped boards? Well, to me, it comes down to math, right? If you take a look at this board right here, we're not going to look at the edges where the rewards are. We're going to look at the inside squares. There are 24 squares where you're going to have either games or mini games that you have to engage with. It's 24 because if you do the math, it's 5 down this way and then 5 across this way. So 5 times 5 is 25, minus the blue square in the middle where that special warp is hiding is 24. What I've noticed also is that the average breakout board has 4 mini games, and I feel like that's going to be the number that we see for every single breakout board if you play through every single square going forward. But I want to have a larger sample size before I declare that you're guaranteed to see 4 mini games per breakout run. So if you subtract the 4 mini games from the 24 games, or the 24 squares that I mentioned, that leaves you with 20 games that you would have to play in order to access this special warp. Now, in order to get access to the current warp, you're going to have to play through 12 games roughly in order for you to get enough of those bonus points to get, like these bonus prize points, to get access to the corners, to get the rewards here, and then be able to go through the warp wherever they pop up. And what's really nice this year with these mini games is when you click on a mini game, you don't have to play a game. You just engage with the mini game, you get your reward, and then that counts as like a free skip. You get to advance to the next spot. So theoretically, if you get a prize point, if you get the bonus prize point after every single game that you play, and your mini games line up to where you can skip a bunch of squares on your path to the corners, you may only have to play like 9 or 10 games, maybe 11 games potentially, of breakout in order to get access to the corners. And then if you got all your bonus points, you'll already have access to all the best rewards on the corners before you get through to the warps, which is great. So if you were to do the math, right, let's say you average playing, well, we'll say 9 to 10 games of breakout in order to get access to the corner rewards, assuming you get all of your prize points. And then you also, on that pathway, you play through 3 current era teams in a row. You've now played, we'll just be conservative here. We'll say you play 10 breakout games to access the current portal on the corners, compared to playing 20 games of breakout in order to get access to the warp in the middle. And the rewards seem to be pretty similar. Like, okay, I went through that special warp yesterday on stream. Shout out to all of you guys who joined me. We saw 10,000 MT, 5,000 MT, and that breakout exchange collectible as rewards. If we're seeing people getting access to that breakout exchange collectible on current boards as well, I don't really see a reason to go through these special warps in the middle. I would much rather take half the time making my way through the first breakout board to get access to that current warp, and then I have to play, another potentially, 10 games or so, assuming we get those same mini games as well on that current board, which I know we will, up to 4 it looks like. And then just like that, there's a world where you're playing less than 20, or maybe not less than 20, maybe you're playing like 20 to 22 games of breakout to get through those 2 breakout boards, which I think is super efficient. Averaging 11 games per breakout board, fantastic, versus if you were to play all 20 games here, you're basically playing the same number of games, more or less, going through 2 breakout boards if you go through a current warp than you would if you played through all the games on this board to access your special warp, and then you have to play through another like 10 or 11 games on that board. The math just isn't mathing for me. I know that got like kind of nerdy and stuff like that, but my whole point of this video is that my strategy as of right now going forward is I'm going to keep refreshing my breakout board until I see a board where, you load up a brand new breakout board, you have 4 games right here, right? I'm going to keep doing it until I see a current era team here and a current era team here. Or maybe I see a current era team here and a current era team here. Ideally, I would like to see a current era team. I'd love to see at least 2 of them, because seeing 2 of them guarantees that you're going to hopefully more than likely see a third at some point. But again, on this breakout board, my only current era teams are the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets. So out of 20 games that I have on this board, only 2 of them are against current era teams. If you want to be safe, keep resetting your breakout board until you see 3 of your first 4 opponents be current era teams. That way you know it's guaranteed that you're going to have a current warp on your breakout board. And then the rewards from there are going to be great. On this board alone, real quick, before we get on out of here, I have Amethyst Julius Randle, which I'm very excited about, 5,000 MT, and then I'm going to probably take the gold badge option pack before I end up walking away. I have no interest in engaging with this clutch time warp for all the reasons I said earlier on in this video, and then this is only 1,000 MT, which kind of sucks. So yeah, we're going to just do that, and then we're going to move on to our next breakout board. I don't have any more time to play my team today. I unfortunately have to run. This is why I like making these videos for you guys, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys are out there, kind of like me, don't have all the time in the world to play this game. I'm seeing everyone and their mother at least level 30, if not level 40, and my ass is sitting at level 8. And I feel totally fine with that. We still have plenty of days left in the season to hit level 40, so I'm not stressing. But it's for that reason that I want to give you guys my own tips and tricks, what I'm using when I'm playing this game to maximize not only my time, but also the amount of MT and rewards that I'm profiting off of. I want you guys to eat as well, because again, if you don't have a lot of time to play this game mode, and this game mode can be confusing, I think it's important to try and share all the wisdom that I have, and for people like most who are building awesome communities on Twitter with people that are sharing the wisdom that they have in those communities. It's important for everyone to engage with each other and share what they find to try and make Breakout as profitable a game mode as possible for everybody playing in Breakout this year. That is today's class for Breakout 101. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm really hoping you guys are finding these videos to be helpful. Looking forward to bringing more of these videos to you guys in the near future, and hopefully bringing the first episode of the salary cap report to you guys on Saturday, but maybe even earlier than that. We'll have to see. Love you all. Until next time, I'll see you later.